Alrighty, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. I'm back with another Starcraft 2 1 versus 1 bot AI cast. We have got ourselves what should be a good one here today, as it's going to be two very entertaining bots to watch. It's going to be 27Turtles taking on Mulebot in a Terran versus Terran, but more importantly, a bot versus bot match. And let me tell you, it's been too long since I've been able to cast some of these. I was out of town a little bit, and then I had a cold, so it's actually been like a week since I was able to cast one of these games. Fortunately, I have a video backlog, so it's not that big of a deal. But yeah, so I'm glad to be back in casting shape now that my throat is no longer angry. And yeah, let's see where this one's gonna go, as we've got a bit of a chat tag at the start. 27Turtles saying tanks a lot, 33% confidence rating, so I guess that's its win rate against Mulebot, which isn't the best win rate, but there's always a chance. So let's see, we've got an SCV scout moving out for 27Turtles to see what's going on in the base of its opponent. Mulebot is also sending out an SCV that may be a bit more sinister from the path it's taking. I'm wondering if we'll actually see a proxy or something. Mulebot has got a lot of builds. I can't remember how many the bot author said that their bot has, but it's like 50 builds or something. It's ridiculous. And so that's what we're going to see. The SCVs for Mulebot programmed to defend against intruders, kills off the scouting SCV of 27Turtles. And so 27Turtles does just go for a command center. It's going for a Reaper Scout behind this. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, before we get too much further into this match, make sure to go ahead and click that like button if you haven't already. If we can hit, let's go for 50 likes on this video, that would be amazing. Leave a comment down below saying more bots if you want to see more of these bot matches. And then just, yeah, subscribe if you haven't already. You can click that bell icon too to get notified whenever I put up a new video, a new post, a live stream for the tournament that's going on right now of these bots. And then just as always, big thanks to everyone that does support the channel via the YouTube membership program. The link for that is down below, or you can use the join button to check out that. And the support is greatly appreciated. I'm by no means a professional YouTuber or anything, and I do make a point of not putting like mid-roll ads or anything on the videos, which I think anyone who watches YouTube probably appreciates, because it's just, there's nothing worse than being like right in the middle of a match or something, or whatever you're watching, then an ad just takes you out of it. So yeah, as long as YouTube allows that to be an option, I'll have that enabled. Or disabled, I suppose. So we've got 27Turtles. The Reaper is scouting out a little bit. Mulebot isn't exactly responding to this. It's got 3 Marines, however, they seem to be looking to group up with the boys. And so that's going to be a tank medevac drop. A very cool build that the bot has programmed. Unfortunately, that means these SCVs are left to fend for themselves. The Reaper is doing a good job harassing. It's not the most lethal Reaper, but yeah, it is definitely doing some economic damage behind this, so pressure will be on for Mulebot to get some damage done. Notably, Mulebot is also bringing an SCV with this drop. This is one of the most out there bot builds I've seen. So this is very darn cool, as the drop is heading towards the main base of 27Turtles. 27Turtles, which has a bunker at the front, which is a very common bot strategy, but Mulebot is looking to completely bypass that, so I'm a big fan. We do have 1 Marine for 27Turtles responding to this. It gets taken care of. A 2nd Marine is there, but Mulebot actually boosts the medevac to the upper left, I guess fearing the firepower or something, so that's a little bit interesting behavior. The tank unloads, the Marines unload. I have no idea why it went to the upper corner of the map, but the SCV stays alive. The tank is hanging out, notably not sieging. The medevac is just abandoning the crew as the SCV wants to heal that. We do have a tank that's walked forward, sieging up on the front, so this is turning into a very, very lethal push by Mulebot, pardon me. So 27Turtles is in a little bit of trouble. Looks like the attackers were pushed away. Meanwhile, the Reaper inside 27 Turtle or Mulebot's base is still causing problems, although SCVs do get kind of close to getting it. It's at 8 kills. That's tremendous economic damage. We've now got 27 Turtles trying to break this tank push being executed by Mulebot, and it does a great job of that. So all in all, not a bad defense by 27 Turtles. There's now a tank sieging up on the low ground, which is an interesting programming blip. The bot not really taking vision into account, thinking, oh, that I can shoot that supply depot. But that's just because it saw it prior to that. So that is unfortunate pathing. We do have Mulebot with a command center up behind this. One of the features of Mulebot is that it will go for expansions seemingly in wacky locations. The Reaper is still causing problems, up to 9 kills, soon to be 10. Just a slow and steady bit of Reaper harassment. And now this tank is going to be pounced upon and cleaned up. 27 Turtles is really, really shutting this down. And Mulebot is in quite a bit of trouble, I fear. As, I mean, it doesn't have that much going on. So I think it was 27 Turtles that said it's only got a 33% confidence rating, but this game is going very good considering that. And uh-oh, Mulebot is rallying in another tank towards 3 tanks of 27 Turtles. Fortunately, 2 of them did unsiege, so it will get a shot off, but then it still goes down. 27 Turtles is getting up a 3rd command center. Mulebot is no longer being harassed as that Reaper has been pushed away finally. But it is 50 workers to 26, so things are quite rough for Mulebot, that's for sure. And yeah, great game between these 2 bots so far, as we've got +1 on the way for the Turtle. And then let's see, concussive shell on the way for Mulebot, so potentially making use of some Marauders. It's got 1 out. That could actually help it catch the Reaper. We'll see if it does. It's not done yet. Now it's done. Can the Marauder get a shot off on the Reaper? It's good to see that Mulebot has got defensive behavior, like it is actually sending that Marauder home. Unfortunately, it is not the perfect defense, but like a lot of bots wouldn't have any response to a Reaper in the mineral line or anything like that. So at least Mulebot's doing that. We're now getting a new assault on the 3rd command center. 27 Turtles army was out of position as it looks to be going for a bit of a counterattack. The Reaper's reign of terror finally gets ended. The tank unable to delay the 3rd base, but it is getting some nice shots off on the command center on the transferring SCVs. 27 Turtles has a ginormous army though, crossing the map, 6 siege tanks, a bunch of Marines to support them. We'll see if it loses this 3rd command center though, as it's not being repaired and it's in orbital, so it will not lift off while that is building. So this could actually be rather close for 27 Turtles. Meanwhile, this attack is charging across the map. SCVs are repairing the command center, but it is much too late as the tank is getting supported by another tank and a Banshee now. So 27 Turtles loses its 3rd. It's now hitting Mulebot's building 3rd base. So this game has evened up quite a bit, as a lot of SCVs have died. And look at all these tanks sieging up for 27 Turtles, looking to breach the main of Mulebot. I really don't see anything that's going to stop them, but man, oh man, Mulebot is a crazy bot. It's actually got behavior programmed into it that it's just going to completely abandon ship and float the orbital command away. A lot of bots do not do that. This is almost human-like behavior. Like, oh, I'll just run away. Unfortunately for Mulebot, its main base has been gutted, losing all its SCVs. Mulebot is going for a push with its own tanks, the Banshee, the Viking, looking to bring the pain to 27 Turtles. It's got a Viking to provide high ground vision now. Meanwhile, Mulebot does have another command center that's mining. It's building more racks, even getting cloak for potential Banshees. That could be big. 27 Turtles has successfully gutted the main. If we look at its vision, it knows where the next base is. Whether it attacks or defend remains to be seen. And yeah, this game is just absolutely crazy. Big thanks to the bot author that recommended this one. If you're a bot author and you have any replays that you think would make good games, send them my way and I'll most likely cast them. And yeah, let's see. The main base still being harassed. 27 Turtles keeps trying to rebuild supply depots there. That's unfortunate. That's the kind of thing that can be avoided if you do some extra work, but it is quite a bit of extra work, I imagine, to program sort of dynamic depot placement, as I think it's probably a worthwhile thing if you're a bot author to avoid situations like this, to say like, hey, I've tried building that depot 3 times. Maybe try to build it somewhere else. Still, you can do unlimited amounts of work for your bots, and that is, well, there's certain things you got to prioritize. So far, the push for Mulebot is being absolutely killer. This Banshee now cloaked on the front lines. The depot's being attempted to be thrown down non-stop. The counterattack is looking to clear out this base for this base of Mulebot, but Mulebot is a rapid expander, just building more orbital commands, so apparently it can live up to its name of Mulebot, although I think it just lost its final rack, so it actually won't be able to make any more orbitals until it builds a new one of those. But 27Turtles is feeding a lot of units into this. It's not really making anything as it's so supply blocked right now. And let's see whether it gets this orbital or not. Looks like that orbital will burn down. And once this refinery is killed, we'll look at the vision. So far, Mulebot has no idea where anything else is. That makes me wonder where it's going to send its army, and it looks like the logical choice is to go deal with the threat, it would seem. As this force is moving in, it's going to be 3 tanks with some upgraded Marines and Ravens trying to break this location. But we'll see. Tanks can lead to very, very sad engagements for... They can lead to very sad engagements, that's all I'll say, as it's difficult to program against them. 27Turtles does seem to be waiting for its tanks. Oh, pardon me, they're actually going from the low ground and sieging up, and it does take out one of the tanks of Mulebot. Looks like the Marines are now walking forward. No stim or anything, but they do have 1-1, which will help out. They do stutter step on top of the tanks. And let's see, the Ravens are here helping out, so the Banshee will die. That is definitely big. It's now 2 tanks against 1. The Ravens are just flying around. And so maybe 27Turtles has saved its main base. This is a ridiculously scrappy match between these two. Both these bots are now just building SCVs. Mulebot has got 3 command centers. And it's actually building a 4th, which is very comical. But oh, it looks like that other tank did get dealt with. Unit-wise, it's just a Viking and a Raven for Mulebot. So 27Turtles stays alive for now. Its Viking is also scouting out. We'll see if it actually lands to kill this command center. It does find the CC, but it's not landing. Are the rest of the units going to join? No, they are not. Mulebot is building a Liberator, building a tank, getting that 4th CC on the way. The Viking actually did land for 27Turtles. I'm not sure why it took so long, but eventually that did happen, so it will work on this command center. Another SCV is being programmed, or is being sent by Mulebot to resume building it, which is just very cool bot behavior. The fact that we're 13 minutes into the game, multiple command centers have died. It's sending an SCV from another location to resume building this command center, which is cool programming. Unfortunately, it has side effects, like it's now feeding SCVs to this Viking, although the command center gets canceled. And let's see here, what do we got? Ravens checking corners, so maybe 27Turtles is like, all right, where's your stuff, man? Okay, there is a command center identified there, so the Viking may make its way over. However, Mulebot, oh, did it actually just kill off some of the units? It might have killed off a tank, I think. Liberator's now setting up on the tank of 27Turtles. 27Turtles is making some Marines, but it doesn't have that many. The Viking is now walking slash flying, I think, trying to get to this base. Oh no, is it bugged? Oh dear, the Viking's like, hey, I can shoot that. But then it also seems to want to fly and walk around. So yeah, the Viking is caught in a negative loop, unfortunately. And let's see, Marine working away on Liberators. However, Mulebot's push is looking quite strong. I know I said that Mulebot was in a bit of a rough position, but things are looking much better now with this renewed push, making use of its factory, of its starport. Doesn't have any racks or anything, but it's in just a fine position, it seems. Not building a new racks is interesting for Mulebot. It definitely needs one, so I'm wondering what requirements are needed, or if it will ever build another one of those. The Liberators, though, are still causing problems. 27Turtles is just making Marines to try and deal with this. They're getting the odd shot off, but if we look at the economy, Mulebot has got 2 orbitals that are, well, 2 orbitals and 3 command centers total, building a 4th command center. Meanwhile, 27Turtles is just making Marines to try and deal with this, so Mulebot is in a good spot. Looks like one of those Liberators will go down. The Viking, though, still providing vision for the tank. More tanks pushing forward. Mulebot's just economic redundancy of just throwing bases up all over the place. It really is a chaotic strategy, but it seems to work quite well. Unfortunately, this Viking isn't getting any work done. I'm sure the bot author could probably tell us exactly what is happening to this Viking. As, I mean, it's clearly got multiple mines in which it's like, oh, I'll fly over there, and then I guess it gets within range of the threat maybe, and then it's like, hey, I can land to attack that, but then it wants to maybe path over here, and I'm guessing that the Viking is programmed to travel, quote unquote, by flying, so then when it switches into fly mode, it starts pathing this way. That's my assumption of what's going on. Who knows? Maybe it's something completely different, but yeah, maybe the bot author can let me know. Anyway, we have got SCVs coming on in. They are actually attacking the tank of Mulebot, and they're not doing bad, as somehow 27Turtles has seemingly almost broken this location. Marines are getting on top of the tank. SCVs are trying to repair it. I honestly thought this game was pretty much done with, but somehow 27Turtles has ended up with more stuff than Mulebot. It's pushing this away. Mulebot has got more command centers on the way, but it's now starting to really be hindered by its lack of production. I guess it's just not programmed to build new barracks, or it prioritizes building something else. So maybe it just wants a certain amount of command centers. I don't know. But that does mean it's not getting more orbitals, so it's not living up to its name. So maybe we can call it not Mulebot, I don't know, as that is unfortunate. 27Turtles is really starting to mine out on these 2 bases, though, which is problematic. It's mainly just been building Marines for a large chunk of this game, losing 78 Marines so far. The 1-1 has definitely benefited them, though. There is even Stim, although I'm not sure we're seeing that get used. Marine killing more SCVs. Viking flying after this. Bad pathing. Looks like it may go down, although it flies over here. A Marine comes to check this location. So 27Turtles is looking for its opponent's bases. Just, I guess it periodically checks this location out. We'll see if the Marine goes now to attack this orbital. That would be interesting. These few Marines that are out that haven't walked into the Liberator are attacking this command center. So getting some damage done. Mulebot does seem quite unkillable at this point, though, as it's got 6 command centers building 6 SCVs at a time, up to 49 workers. 27Turtles is still feeding units into the odd tank here and there into the Liberator. So like a Marine finds another command center. SCV transferring dies. This Viking is having some success killing these off. I guess Mulebot wants to expand up here. But Mulebot is really limited by its production. It can only make units out of this one factory and this one starport, because it hasn't built any more racks, because I guess it just wants to prioritize other economic stuff. Maybe it's only programmed to build a certain number of racks, and it's lost, well, 5 racks this game. So maybe that's the max amount of racks Mulebot is ever supposed to build. It's building 7 refineries, though, deciding it needs more gas, that 2100 isn't enough. 2 Marines are now shooting this command center. We do have Mulebot even floating a burning command center over towards 27Turtles base, and it's now getting a bit of a renewed push going on, as 27Turtles is pretty much flat broke at this point. And yeah, there's just so many bases for Mulebot. It's building 7 SCVs at a time. How many has it lost this game? It's lost 94 to the 95 of 27Turtles, though I think that's about to increase. And I think 27Turtles may die now that it is pretty much out of money. Constantly trying to repair. Tanks and Liberators are shooting everything down. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've enjoyed this game, go ahead and click that like button. A very, very scrappy game. Big thanks to the bot author for sending it in. And yeah, If you enjoy these casts, click the like button, leave a comment down below saying more bots if you want to see more of these bots, as that helps with the YouTube bot. And I appreciate all your comments. And then, yeah. Big thanks to everyone that does support the channel. If you want to get started on programming a bot, you can go to sc2ai.net. There's an amazing amount of guides and frameworks that you can use if you happen to be inclined to program. Eventually, Mulebot does build another Rex. So that's very interesting. I have no idea. I'm guessing it's because it built all the command centers it possibly could or wanted to. That's just really bizarre. How at some point the bot is like, yes, build racks. Maybe it was building SCVs and CCs as a priority. Well, clearly it was. But at some point it's like, no, this is fine. But it's still making SCVs and CCs, so... yeah, very, very interesting. It's a slow death for 27Turtles, though. Tanks pushing forward. Now Mulebot is just really making the most of its economy. It's going to be able to start so many orbitals once Arax is done. And look at that. There we go. Now they all go and start popping into beautiful orbital commands. Does this one do it? Okay, it does. How about this one? Yeah, it does. Look, they're blooming like flowers. It's very cool. This one Marine, unfortunately, unable to avoid that Liberator death circle. We get a Fusion Core and a Ghost Academy on the way for Mulebot, so this isn't even its final form, I guess. Well done to both of these bot authors. 27Turtles seemingly had some built-up chat, which is interesting. GG.